Have you ever tried to video call a friend on bad Wi-Fi? Try keeping track of that conversation. But what if you had to direct a war from 3,500 miles away? And the communication lag was 2 months. That's what George Germain, the British Secretary of State for America, had to deal with during the Revolutionary War. Born in London in 1716, Germain joined the British Army as a young man. And during the course of his fledgling military career, he experienced battle across much of Europe, rising to the rank of Major General. At the Battle of Minden during the 7 Years' War, however, he ignored orders from his superior and was kicked out of the forces. But Germain had friends in high places, including Prime Minister Lord North, who helped him bag a nice new job as Secretary of State for the American Department. First on his to-do list, suppress the rebellion that had broken out in the colonies. Managing a conflict on the other side of the Atlantic wasn't easy. Written reports from commanders in America had to be sent by courier. They often took weeks to reach a port, then had to travel thousands of miles to England. By the time Germain had read the reports and sent his orders back across the Atlantic, the situation on the ground had often completely changed, making it almost impossible to know where to direct troops or what supplies would be needed. This difficult situation was made worse by Germain's poor judgment. In 1777, it was his job to coordinate the actions of his two top commanders in the colonies. It was vital that their forces linked up, but the orders Germain issued to General Howe were vague and confusing. So Howe didn't send forces north, and General Burgoyne was left without support. The result was a disaster. Burgoyne surrendered his force of over 5,000 men at Saratoga. This defeat emboldened the French, who decided to enter the war on the continental side. From that point on, the odds were stacked against Britain, and Germain's fate was sealed. When news of the British surrender at Yorktown reached London in 1781, all hope of maintaining control of the 13 colonies was lost. But Germain's job wasn't over. He had one last humiliating communication to deliver, announcing Britain's defeat to Lord North and the King.